Hello and welcome to Pilgrims to the Premier League episode 77, a Football Manager 2021 series here on Boston United FM. We took over Boston United in National League North with the solitary aim of reaching the top level. 16 seasons later, and we won the lot. A domestic treble plus the Champions League all in one season. But now, after resigning from the Pilgrims, my focus moves on to my other job, England manager. Going into Euro 2036, being held in Germany, we've had a good run of friendlies. However, we were disappointed not to beat Scotland. We are the current holders, having beaten Norway in a San Siro final 4 years ago, but that was under the previous manager. We face Wales, Denmark and then the Ukraine in the group stages, and if we don't make it through to the knockout rounds, then something has gone incredibly wrong. We are currently rated the #1 nation in the world. I'll be playing the group stage matches offline unless the last match of the group is especially crucial. A narrow victory against Wales, and it certainly should have been more comfortable than the 1-0 scoreline. We missed a penalty in the dying moments of the first half, but we finally took the lead through fullback Stapley, who fired home from inside the area. Boston player Steve Curran started the game on the right wing, but picked up a knock and was taken off in the second half, to be replaced by fellow Pilgrim Ben Peterkin. Darren Fairclough also made it onto the pitch as substitute. Unfortunately, left back Thomas Stevens, who came off the pitch for Fairclough, he's sustained some pulled knee ligaments and will presumably be out for a little while. Ryan Giggs is still the manager of Wales and he's disappointed, but I'm sure he's seen positives by the fact that they only conceded 1 goal to us. Stevens is only going to be out for a couple of weeks, so that should probably see him out of the rest of the group stage and maybe the first knockout round, assuming we get there. Fullback Stapley plays for Chelsea on that right-hand side. He scored the goal and he got player of the match. And we do look to build on victory, and we play Denmark next. Another narrow win made harder for ourselves by letting Denmark back into it in the last half hour. Elliot Stapley scored his second goal of the tournament from right back as a wayward cross found its way into the net. Boston players Fairclough and Peterkin then combined to make it 2-0 as the former crossed for the latter to head home. Fairclough then made a mistake at the back to allow them to halve the deficit, but not much really happened after that, and we have qualified for the knockout stages with a game to spare. Another injury was picked up, and our best centre-half, Jake Wright, is going to be out for 4 weeks. However, Fairclough, despite that mistake, because of his assist for Peterkin's goal, he got player of the match. Next up, the Ukraine. A third consecutive win by a single goal margin to end off the group stage. A few changes were made to the starting 11 to save some player fitness, but we went 2-0 up early on in the second half with goals from Bell and Curran. Petrov netted for the Ukraine, but we could just not extend the lead in the second half despite numerous chances towards the end of the game. Curtis, one of the Boston players in the squad, he's also picked up a slight knock. He came in as one of the changes to the starting 11. Steve Curran, our Boston winger, pretty much a star man for both the Pilgrims and England at the moment. He got a goal and an assist and picked up the Player of the Match award. And of course, again, we are on course. We've won all 3 games in the group stage. Of course, we win the group with our 3 wins out of 3. And it's been very, very tight in terms of second and third. It looks like Denmark have edged out Ukraine by virtue of goals scored. The match between the two sides finished 2-2, so they couldn't use that to separate them. Both got a goal difference of 0, but Denmark have scored an extra goal. We now need to find out who we're going to play in the second round. It's a pretty tough draw for a European Championship second round. We're playing Italy. They're 7th in the world rankings. We're top, but this should be an incredibly difficult game. It's happening in 5 days' time, so let's go forward to match day. We managed to pick up a couple of yellow card suspensions in the Ukraine game as top scoring fullback Stapley and winger Curran miss out for this game with Italy. Centre-back Wright is still injured for about 3 weeks, but left-back Stevens is fit enough for a place on the bench. We'll be looking to Mason Greenwood to pick up a goal or two. He's not got any yet in this competition, with support from Peterkin and Bellingham in the wide areas. Let's pump these players up. We've been on a good run lately, so go out there and impress me. We are on a run of 3 wins out of 3. It's motivated Darren Fairclough. He's one of my old boys from Boston. There's been a few players during this tournament where they just haven't been motivated in the team talks. So as it stands, I'm just going to go forward to a tunnel interview. Apparently we're unbeaten in 6 matches against Italy, so that's going to give us some confidence. We'll try and use it as a psychological barrier against them. Asking about Louis Nutt's performances as a wing-back on the right, he's our only choice. We can't play anybody else there at the moment. But the teams are coming out, so let's kick off. We pass the ball back. Here's Bray coming forward, gives it to Spencer in midfield. Beale, long ball forward towards Peterkin on this right-hand side. A nice through ball to Ellis, and that's a great save by the Italian keeper. We go down, but we don't get the penalty. Throw in for us down the right-hand side. There's Ellis with the cross. It's cleared. Beale picks it up. Is he going to go out left? He takes it himself. Back to Fairclough. Back to Beale. Cross ball to Peterkin. Here's Greenwood inside the area and the ball's inside the net. It's 1-0 to England. It's his first goal of the tournament. Played 2 of the 3 group stage matches. Didn't have a sniff. But within 16 minutes of the knockout stages, he slots home past the goalkeeper. 1-0. We're coming forward yet again, this time down the left-hand side with a throw-in. Here's Ellis. Greenwood out to Nutt on the right-hand side. A little cross in, another cross, and we've got another goal. It's Greenwood. I'm not sure where he tapped that from. It looked like it was on the line. Maybe a bit of poor defending there, but it doesn't matter. We're 2-0 up. Greenwood passed it outside to Nutt. A little ball to Peterkin, back to Nutt. The cross comes in, and it's come off the defender, and that's a lovely little sneaky finish by Greenwood. Gets his second goal of the game. And that's half-time. We're 2-0 up. Things are going exceedingly well. We've hardly seen Italy have an attack. The statistics say they've had a couple of shots, but we've not seen them. We've had 10, 4 of them on target, and we're matching our XG, just over 2 goals, and we have the advantage. Well, let's tell these players that things are going well, but we can be better. We could get 1, 2, 3 more goals in this second half. Let's blow the Italians away and get into the quarterfinals. Fairclough with the free kick. Gives it to Beale. He now drives forward. It's definitely a feature of our play, picking the ball up in midfield and driving towards the penalty area. There's Ellis. He's through on goal. A first-time shot, and it's 3-0. Peterkin on the edge of the area. Spencer picks it up, back to Beale. Chip over the defence, and there's Ellis. Allows it to bounce, and then smashes it home. Throw in down the left-hand side. Gives it to Bellingham. He's been pretty quiet. Beale towards Fairclough. Going down that left-hand side again. Here is Bellingham with the cross to Peterkin, and his header just goes over the top. Throw into Italy deep inside their own half. They've got 4 minutes to score 3 goals to keep themselves in the Euros. Longato now coming through, has a shot, but it's extremely wayward. That's probably their best attack of the game. And we go comfortably into the quarterfinals, a 3-0 victory over Italy. Mason Greenwood with 2 goals in 3 minutes in the first half. Then Danny Ellis with a finish just after half-time. And we held on to a 3-0 victory. Let's congratulate the lads. Well done. That was a good win. We are incredibly pleased. I thought we were excellent throughout the 90 minutes. Looking at the other result today, Spain have beaten the Ukraine by virtue of an extra time winner. That does mean Ukraine must have got through as one of the better third place teams. We are through to the quarterfinals. Eusebio Di Francesco, he's the Italian manager, and he's obviously disappointed at going out. Ben Peterkin, he did pick up a knock in that second half. Hopefully he won't be too long out. But we've got Spain in the quarterfinals in the Olympic Stadium in Berlin, Sunday the 6th of July. So we've got a few days to recover. I did bring on Thomas Stevens inside the second half with probably a quarter of the game to go just to get him some minutes under his belt after his recent injury. But Peterkin is only going to be out for 2 days, so we're not too worried about that. Plus Steve Curran, he's back from suspension for the Spain game. Ellis picked up player of the match. And naturally, the squad have reacted positively to that match. We won 3-0. We were absolutely fantastic. We are probably favourites to win the Euros. Let's go forward to the match day of the Spain game. A few almost enforced changes in the lineup for the Spain game for fitness reasons, as Peterkin and Ellis dropped to the bench. Stevens comes back in after his injury absence in place of Fairclough, and Curran returns from his suspension straight into the starting 11. Spain have got Ansu Fati on the bench. I don't think we've yet faced any of our Boston players. Even Boyer wasn't in the Denmark side when we played them. It's a little bit disappointing not to see them, but he is an excellent player and he may have made the difference. We'll try again, pumping the players up. We've been on a good run lately. We've won 4 games out of 4. We've got a couple of motivated players now. One of them, my guy from Boston, Steve Curran. But again, we've got somebody at the back who's a little bit unsure. Apparently Spain have the best defence, but I would say we probably have the best attacking players. We just need belief to go out there and beat them. Apparently they've got a hot shot in the Euros so far, but we've got Mason Greenwood. He scored 2 goals in the first knockout round against Italy. And he plays again today, so hopefully he'll shoot us to victory. But the players are out, so let's kick off. Curtis in the midfield. He's come into the side for this game. Out to Stevens on the left-hand side. Can he get a crossing? No, gives it back to Curtis. He's inside the area. He's going to have a shot. Little bit of pinball in there. Bellingham has a shot at the near post, but it's blocked. And cleared behind for a corner. Curran with it. Gets it back again on the left-hand side. What's he going to do? Gives it to Curtis again on that inside left channel. But Spain get it clear. Another corner. Curran to take it. Cleared yet again. Comes back to him. Here's Curtis. Back to Curran. 2 Boston players combining. There's Curran, but his shot is just picked up by the goalkeeper. Now a throw in for Spain, but we pick the ball up with Bellingham. He launches it forward. But we do get the ball yet again. Now Bellingham running down the left-hand side. He's not a natural left winger, but we're playing him as an inside forward. Now Noé comes forward for Spain. He's just walking through the defence, but Pheasant is there to tip the ball wide. Bermejo with the corner. It's cleared. Now Bell picks it up. He's gone past halfway. I think he's got Greenwood in the middle. What can he do? Can he find him? Can he get the cross in? He tries, but he gets a corner. Curran to take yet another corner. But Noe brings it clear and out of play. A late throw in the half. Nodded back. Here's Curtis. Picks it up again. Outside the penalty area. He's going to have a shot. But Lopez, the goalkeeper, picks it up. And that is half time. We probably should be ahead. We've had numerous corners. We've had 8. Mind you, they've had 6, but we've not really seen them. So not a lot of quality coming in from set pieces today. I think we just need to keep going. Let's pump the players up. Go out there and give these fans their money's worth. If we keep going, we're seeing a lot of the ball down the left-hand side. If we can just somehow get a cross in and have the striker or Curran coming in at the far post just to nod one home, that will be perfect. Let's go back out there for the second half. Spain with a free kick on the halfway line. Can we win the ball back? Quite high up. We're trying. Luis on the ball. We're pressing them. It's gone back to the goalkeeper, Lopez. He launches it forward. It looked like he was offside, Excura, but he's put the ball in the net. And Spain have gone 1-0 up. That must have been close for an offside, but it's just a long ball forward from the goalkeeper. Over the top of our defence. Escura's ran onto it. And he's just poked it home. And that is a disappointing defeat. Absolutely nothing happened in the second half. You can see on screen the formation that we finished the game with. Having Stevens as a wide midfielder, 2 people on the right-hand side, 2 attackers, 2 attacking midfielders. But we still couldn't quite manage to get a shot on goal worthy enough of a highlight. We were pretty good in the first half. We should have gone in at half-time ahead, but we didn't. So I'm going to thrash my arms, tell them I'm far from pleased. They're motivated now, but it doesn't matter. We've got no more games to play in this tournament, or indeed in this series. I did bring all 3 subs on with probably, 20 minutes to go or so. Couldn't make any more. And we should have been good enough to turn it around. And there we go. We do get defeated in the European Championships quarter-finals 1-0 by Spain. That long ball over the top from the Spanish goalkeeper through to the Spanish striker. He slotted home and we couldn't quite force an equaliser. They call it unlucky in defeat, mainly because of our 17 shots on goal, 63% of the possession. But we just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. We have been criticised for this European Championship performance, and that's not surprising. We are the number 1 team in the world, and we should have got to at least the semi-finals, maybe even the final. And that is the end of England duty for the players. And also, it's going to be the end of England duty for me. I resigned from my role as Boston United manager after the Champions League final victory. I went out on a high, but as with most national team managers, you generally go out with a defeat after being knocked out of a major championship. And there we go. I have quit my England post at the end of the Euros. Well, the end of the Euros for England anyway. Obviously, Spain will go forward into the semi-finals. We'll have a look in a second to see who actually wins the competition. Could well be Spain themselves. During the tournament, I've had offers of interviews with a couple of high-profile Club jobs in England, both Manchester United and Chelsea, have offered me interviews, but obviously we're coming to the end of the series. I said no. Spain did beat Holland 2-1 in the final in Berlin, having overcome Romania in the semi-finals. They hadn't even conceded a goal until the semi-final when Romania equalised, but then they were efficient enough to hit back in that game and then repeated it in the final. And that is that for my management career in this save. A fantastic end with Boston United as we won 6 trophies in the final season, but disappointment with England as we couldn't get past the quarter-final stage of the European Championships. The series still has one more episode to go as we'll holiday forward 5 years and take a look at both Boston United and England. Will the Boston board get the next managerial appointment right and remain a leading title candidate for the next few years? There's a fantastic amount of talent in the squad and they all have time on their side. Sissoko came in for the final season as the oldest member of the first team squad and he's still only 28. Nikolic has spent 7 seasons with the club and at 27 he should now be at his prime. He was the club's top scorer this season. Within the England squad, I'd expect at least a couple of the older players to slowly drift out of the upcoming squads. Mason Greenwood is now 34 with Jude Bellingham a year younger. Maybe they need a new coach who can inject some youth into the side, something I just couldn't do due to the lack of quality players under the age of 22 there is around. We'll find out what happens in the next episode. But if you've enjoyed the content of this episode, please don't forget to leave a like. And for more videos, please subscribe. Thank you very much for watching.